What is this? You need to explain this right now!
I should have known when her phone buzzed and she flinched. The little tells you only see when you stop wanting the fairy tale. 2 days before our wedding, I read the messages. Promises after the honeymoon. Meet me in the bathroom. We'll be careful. She'd been living 2 lives while I paid for the flowers. I didn't scream or leave. I planned. I married her in front of everyone, then gave them the proof. Screenshots, camera stills, her own words. And when the room went silent, I told them the final thing she never expected. The marriage wasn't even legal. Listen to how I made her pay. I should probably start by admitting something up front. I'm not the kind of man who usually talks about his personal life. I'm a private guy, maybe even too private. But when you've been burned the way I was, when you've seen the person you love most twist your life into something unrecognizable, silence stops being an option. My name is Daniel Ross, and in less than 6 hours, I'm supposed to marry the woman I thought was my soulmate. Her name is Claire Bennett. She's beautiful, charming, intelligent, the kind of woman who lights up every room she walks into. Everyone loves her. My parents adore her. My friends tease me about outkicking my coverage. Strangers in restaurants smile when they see us together. Picture perfect. That's what people say. Picture perfect. But pictures don't show you the cracks in the frame, do they? They don't tell you about the late-night messages, the excuses, the way your stomach knots every time you hear her phone buzz and she tilts it just out of your line of sight. Pictures don't tell you how a man feels when he realizes he's been played for a fool. It started small, like it always does. Little inconsistencies that I brushed aside because I loved her. Because love makes you blind and stupid and willing to bend reality until it fits the version you want to believe. She started working late more often, even though her office closes at 6 sharp. She claimed she was meeting her girlfriends for drinks on Thursdays, but I noticed she never smelled like gin or wine when she came home. She smelled like men's cologne, faint but unmistakable. She started locking her phone, and when I asked about it, she laughed and said everyone at work was paranoid about data leaks, and she didn't want me accidentally seeing confidential files. That was the first real pang. The first time I thought, no, something isn't right here. But still I let it slide, because I wanted to believe in her. Because I wanted the Claire I knew, the Claire who kissed me goodnight every single evening, who made pancakes on Sundays, who held my hand during thunderstorms when I couldn't sleep. The Claire couldn't betray me. That's what I told myself. But then came last Thursday. That was when the whole fragile illusion shattered. I was at home, working in the office upstairs. I do freelance financial consulting, which means my hours are flexible, and Claire thinks that makes me the perfect future husband, someone who can be there for her whenever she needs. Around 9 o'clock, I heard her phone buzzing on the kitchen counter. She was in the shower. For a moment I stared at the glowing screen, heart pounding. I told myself I wasn't that guy, the snooping, insecure boyfriend. But then the phone buzzed again, and again. Curiosity might be a sin, but so is betrayal, and one of us was already guilty. I picked it up. She hadn't changed her password on this one yet, maybe because she never expected me to look. The notification preview flashed a name I didn't recognize at first, Aaron. My pulse jumped. I swiped it open. The messages hit me like bricks to the chest. Aaron. I can't stop thinking about last night. Claire. Stop, you'll make me blush. Aaron. When are we getting more time alone? Claire. After the honeymoon. He'll be busy with work and I'll sneak away. You know I can't stay away from you. I just stood there, staring at those words, every ounce of air sucked out of my lungs. After the honeymoon. Sneak away. I couldn't breathe. Couldn't move. Couldn't even process the fact that the woman upstairs humming in the shower, the woman who was supposed to be my wife in 3 days, had been carrying on an affair right under my nose. I don't remember putting the phone back down. I don't remember walking back into my office. What I do remember is sitting in the dark for nearly 2 hours, the glow of my laptop screen burning into my eyes as I tried to understand what the hell had just happened to my life. I should have confronted her, right? Any sane man would have stormed into that bathroom and demanded answers. But sanity is a luxury, and I wasn't feeling particularly sane. Instead, I did what I do best. I dug. I traced Aaron's number. Turns out he's not some random fling from a bar. He's her ex-boyfriend from college, the one she swore she'd lost touch with years ago. He lives one town over, works construction, drives a beat-up Chevy truck. Nothing about him screams competition, except for the fact that he's still in her bed, apparently. By midnight, I knew everything. His address, his schedule, how often they saw each other. And the more I read, the colder I became. Not hot, raging fury. No, this wasn't fire. This was ice, clear, sharp, calculated. I didn't sleep that night. Instead, I made calls. The first to a lawyer friend of mine, someone who's gotten me out of more than one sticky business contract. I told him what I needed, and after a pause, he said, "It's ruthless, Dan, but yes, it's legal. Barely." That was enough for me. The second call was harder. I phoned Pastor Green, the man who'd known me since childhood, who baptized me and taught me Sunday school. He's officiating the wedding. When I told him, there was silence for a long time. Then he said, "Son, this is vengeance. You know that, don't you?" I said yes. He sighed. "Then may God have mercy, because I can't stand in the way of the truth. I'll help you." The third call was to my best friend, Mark. He's the kind of guy you want beside you in a bar fight. Loyal, quick, and dangerous when provoked. He warned me about Claire years ago. Told me she had that look in her eyes, like she was weighing everything she touched against what she could gain from it. I laughed him off back then. Now I wish I'd listened. When I told him, he didn't even sound surprised. "Tell me where and when. I'll bring my camera." By dawn, I had a plan. Not just a confrontation. Not just a breakup. That would be too simple. Too easy for her. No, Claire needed to feel what I felt. She needed her world ripped apart in front of everyone she wanted to impress. She needed to be exposed, stripped bare, humiliated. And I was going to do it with precision. Now it's the morning of my wedding day, and I'm standing in the dressing suite of the Fairmont Gardens estate. It's one of those luxury venues people book years in advance. White marble floors, gold chandeliers, acres of manicured lawns. Claire insisted on it, of course. She wanted the perfect fairy tale backdrop. Every detail, from the imported roses to the hand-carved ice sculpture, was chosen to impress. I didn't argue. Let her have her fantasy. It's about to collapse anyway. Mark is in the room with me, adjusting his cufflinks, grinning like the devil himself. "You ready for this?" he asks. "As ready as I'll ever be." You know she's going to lose her mind. That's the point. He laughs, claps me on the shoulder. Man, I almost feel sorry for her. Almost. I check my phone. A text from the venue manager flashes across the screen. "Subject arrived. Service entrance, just like you said. Aaron is here. Early. Predictable. I don't react. Just slip the phone back into my pocket and finish tying my tie." On the other side of the estate, Claire is probably sipping champagne with her bridesmaids, basking in the glow of her supposed triumph. She thinks she's got it all. The handsome, dependable husband-to-be, the rich future, and her secret side lover waiting in the wings. What she doesn't realize is that she's not walking into a wedding. She's walking into a stage, and the performance is about to begin. I take a deep breath, glance at the mirror. The man staring back at me looks calm, too calm. My mother used to say that when I get that look, something bad is about to happen. She was always right. The clock ticks toward 11. Guests are already gathering outside, mingling under the white canopy. Men in tuxedos, women in glittering gowns, glasses of champagne clinking. My parents are here, smiling and greeting people, blissfully unaware of the storm that's about to hit. Claire's parents have arrived too, her mother in pearls, her father in a tailored navy suit. They've always looked at me like I wasn't quite good enough, not polished enough for their daughter. Today they're going to wish I'd never been part of their lives at all. I stand, straighten my jacket, and meet Mark's eyes. Showtime. The music starts before I even step outside. A string quartet, elegant and polished. The kind of thing Claire insisted on because she said live music made everything feel magical. I'm standing at the edge of the aisle, my best man Mark at my side, and I can see the rows of people rising to their feet, heads turning toward the back where the bridal party will soon emerge. It should be the happiest moment of my life. For a second I almost pretend it is. I almost let myself forget the messages, the betrayal, the plan ticking in my head like a time bomb. But then I hear the laughter behind me, light and feminine, Claire's bridesmaids whispering as they line up. I catch fragments. I still can't believe she's pulling this off. Does he really not know? She's too good at this. They think I can't hear them, but I hear every word. And every word drives the nail in deeper, steadying me for what comes next. The first bridesmaid begins down the aisle, pale lavender dress swishing softly as she walks. She's smiling like this is the event of the year, which in Fairfield's social circles, it probably is. Then the second bridesmaid, and the third. Finally, the music swells, and the crowd turns as one. Claire steps into view. She's radiant, stunning in a way that makes even me catch my breath for half a second. The dress is a masterpiece, white silk, delicate lace, a trail that sweeps the ground like it was poured out of some fairy tale. Her hair is perfect, pinned just so, a veil framing her glowing face. And that smile? God, that smile could sell lies to angels. She looks right at me, eyes shining, and in that instant, I know she thinks she's won. She thinks I'm standing here because I'm the same trusting fool I was yesterday morning. She has no idea she's walking straight into the jaws of her own trap. Her father leads her forward, proud as a king presenting his princess. When he reaches me, he presses her hand into mine with a firm grip and a warning look. The kind of look that says, "Take care of my daughter," if only he knew. "Dearly beloved," Pastor Green begins, his voice ringing out clear and steady, "we are gathered here today to join Claire and Daniel in holy matrimony." I can feel the weight of every eye in the room. Friends, family, colleagues, people who think this is a celebration of love, people who have no idea that it's about to become something very different. The ceremony rolls forward, words I've heard a dozen times at other weddings. "Love, honor, cherish." I glance sideways at Claire. She looks misty-eyed, her lashes wet with carefully timed tears. She's a born performer. I almost laugh. When it's my turn to answer, I don't hesitate. I do. She beams at me like I've just handed her the keys to a kingdom. When it's her turn, she doesn't even flinch. I do. The rings slide onto fingers. Hands shake slightly, though no one notices except me. Her hand trembles not with nerves, but with anticipation. She thinks in just a little while she'll slip away, find her lover in some hidden corner, indulge herself before she slips the mask back on for the rest of the night. "By the power vested in me by the state of Connecticut," Pastor Green says, and his eyes flicker to mine for the briefest second. I give the smallest nod. He continues, "I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride," and so I do. The applause is thunderous. Music swells. Petals scatter in the air. For the crowd, it's the moment of triumph, the happy ending to a love story. For me, it's the opening act of a tragedy she wrote herself. We walk back down the aisle, hand in hand, smiling for the cameras, posing for the guests. She leans in and whispers, "We did it." I squeeze her hand gently. Yes, we did. Outside, people are congratulating us, shaking hands, hugging. Champagne glasses are pressed into our palms. My mother kisses my cheek, tears shining in her eyes. "I'm so happy for you, Daniel." "Thanks, Mom." My voice is even, controlled. Too even. She frowns a little, like she senses something underneath. But before she can ask, more people sweep in. Claire slips away after a while, murmuring something about needing to fix her makeup before the reception. I watch her go, veil fluttering, bridesmaids trailing behind like obedient shadows. My phone buzzes in my pocket. Text from the venue manager, subject heading East Wing corridor. Cameras active, another buzz. Mark, standing a few feet away, glances at his phone and then at me. He raises his eyebrows. "Showtime?" "Not yet," I say. "Patience." We mingle with the guests for another half hour, everyone buzzing with excitement. Dinner is about to be served, the reception hall glittering with candlelight and roses. The head table is laid out perfectly, menus printed in gold ink, the kind of extravagant detail Claire obsessed over for months. When she finally returns, she's glowing again. Not just from makeup, not just from champagne. There's a flush to her cheeks, a sparkle in her eyes, and I know why. I know exactly what she's been doing while the guests were waiting. She takes her seat beside me, squeezes my hand under the table. "Everything's perfect," she whispers. I smile. "It really is." The coordinator taps the microphone. "Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. and Mrs. Daniel Ross." The applause is loud, joyful. Claire waves like she's on stage, soaking in the adoration. I watch her calm, detached, knowing what's coming. The coordinator continues. "Before we begin dinner, the groom has prepared something special for his bride." Claire turns to me, eyes wide. "You did?" "I did," I say softly. "I wanted everyone to see how special you are." The lights dim. A hush falls over the room. The screen behind the head table flickers to life. At first, the images are sweet. Photos of us together, vacations, birthdays, smiling faces. The crowd sighs, enchanted. Claire leans closer, touched. You did this for me? Yes, I say. Then the next slide hits. A screenshot of a text. Aaron, last night was amazing. Claire, stop, you'll make me blush. The murmuring starts immediately, confused whispers rippling through the hall. Claire stiffens beside me, her hand jerking away from mine. The next slide. Aaron, when are we getting more time alone? Claire, after the honeymoon, gasps, heads turning. People glancing from her to me back to the screen. Her face drains of color. Daniel, she hisses under her breath. Turn it off, but I don't. Another slide. A picture from the security camera, time-stamped less than an hour ago. Aaron slipping into the women's bathroom, duffel bag in hand. The next photo, Claire entering minutes later. The next, the two of them locked in an embrace. The hall erupts. Voices shouting, chairs scraping back. Her parents leap to their feet, outrage and horror on their faces. My mother covers her mouth with her hand, tears spilling down her cheeks. Mark is recording it all, the grin on his face sharp as glass. Claire grabs my arm. Stop this! Please, you don't understand. I stand slowly, taking the microphone. The room falls into a stunned silence. My voice is calm even. Thank you all for coming today. I thought it was important that everyone who witnessed our union should also witness the truth. The woman you see beside me, the one who just said I do, has been lying to me for months. She's been carrying on an affair with her ex-boyfriend, even planning to continue it after this honeymoon. Gasps, shouts. Someone swears loudly from the back. Claire is sobbing now, makeup streaking down her face. Daniel, please. I can explain. Can you explain this? I gesture toward the screen where the final slide appears. A message from her to her bridesmaids. Claire, Daniel's for stability. Aaron's for fun. Best of both worlds. The room goes dead silent. Her mother looks like she might collapse. Her father is crimson, fists clenched, jaw tight. The bridesmaids are pale, frozen. I turn back to the guests. One more thing. This marriage, it isn't legal. Pastor Green never filed the license. We signed a paper, yes, but it's just that, a paper. No marriage has taken place here today. Claire's head snaps up, eyes wide with horror. What? Pastor Green clears his throat. His voice is heavy, solemn. It's true. Under these circumstances, I could not in good conscience file the documents. No legal marriage exists between Daniel and Claire. The reception hall explodes again. Shouts, gasps, chaos. Claire collapses into her chair, face in her hands, shaking. How could you do this to me? She sobs. How could you do this to me? I reply, my voice still calm, still cold. You plan to humiliate me for the rest of my life. All I did was return the favor. Mark claps me on the back. Beautiful, he murmurs. And as I stand there, watching the woman I once loved unravel before the entire glittering society she so desperately wanted to impress, I feel no guilt, no regret, only clarity. The truth always comes out. Sometimes you just have to give it a little push. The reception hall is still buzzing with chaos when I step away from the microphone. Claire is trembling in her chair, her mascara streaked down her face like black rivers. The bridesmaids avoid her eyes, whispering among themselves, shifting uncomfortably in their expensive dresses. Her father is storming toward the front, fists clenched, his voice low and dangerous as he demands an explanation from his daughter. I stand there steady, letting the storm rage. This was always how it was supposed to end. I wanted her stripped of the illusion she built around herself. Her lies laid bare in the same spotlight she used to dazzle everyone else. Mark leans close to me, murmuring, "You're officially a legend after this." I don't answer. I'm not here for glory. I'm here for closure. Claire finally rises to her feet, her voice cracking, desperate. "It's not true!" He's twisting everything. You know me. You all know me. The guests don't buy it. Not after the screenshots. Not after the photos. Not after her own words flashed across the screen for everyone to see. Her mother shakes her head, tears spilling down her cheeks. "Claire, what have you done?" "I didn't mean it like that." Claire sobs, her arms reaching out as though someone might embrace her. No one does. I take the microphone again. My voice is calm, almost gentle. I wanted everyone to see the truth because I refuse to live a lie. I refuse to be her safety net while she sneaks around behind my back. This isn't just about me, it's about respect, honesty, trust. And Claire destroyed every piece of that. The hall falls silent again. People look at me with a mix of pity and admiration. Some nod in approval, others look away, uncomfortable. But every single person knows the truth now. Claire staggers toward me, her hand trembling as she reaches out. Daniel, please. I made a mistake, a terrible mistake, but we can fix this. Don't throw everything away. Everything? I echo. What exactly is everything, Claire? A marriage that never even legally happened? A life built on lies? You wanted the image, the money, the comfort. You never wanted me. Don't insult me now by pretending otherwise. Her face twists in anguish. She drops to her knees in front of me, clutching at my hand. Please, I love you. I'll end it with Aaron. I swear it's over. The hall is deathly quiet. Everyone is watching, waiting to see what I'll do. I gently pull my hand from her grip. You ended it the moment you chose him over me. My love isn't a consolation prize. It's not something you get to come back to after you've had your fun. She collapses, sobbing, her veil crumpled on the floor. Her father finally pulls her up, his face stone. He doesn't look at me, doesn't look at anyone else. He just drags her away from the table, muttering, Enough. You've humiliated yourself enough. And just like that, she's gone. The guests are murmuring again, some in shock, some already gossiping about what just unfolded. I set the microphone down, straighten my tie, and turn to Mark. We're done here. He grins. Damn right we are. We leave the reception hall together, the noise fading behind us. Outside, the cool night air hits my face like a cleansing wave. For the first time in months, I feel free. Later that night, after the guests have dispersed and the gossip has already begun spreading like wildfire across town, I sit alone in my apartment. The suit jacket is tossed over the couch, the tie loosened, a half-empty glass of whiskey in my hand. The phone buzzes again. Claire. Dozens of missed calls. Endless texts. Please answer me. We can fix this. I need you. Don't ruin my life. I let the phone buzz itself silent. She ruined her life the moment she decided mine wasn't enough. I pour another drink and lean back, replaying the day in my head. It had been brutal, yes, messy, public, but it was necessary. She would never have stopped if I hadn't forced her to. She would have gone on smiling in my face while sneaking behind my back, laughing at how easy it was to fool me. Now the mask is gone. Now the whole world knows. In the days that follow, the fallout is swift. Word spreads through town, through family, through work circles. The story of Claire's humiliation becomes the scandal everyone whispers about over coffee, over wine, over late-night texts. Her job at the gallery evaporates within a week. Too much bad press, too many clients canceling, not wanting to be associated with her. Her parents, furious and ashamed, cut her off financially. Even her friends, the ones who used to cheer her on, cover for her, enable her, begin to distance themselves. No one wants to be tethered to the sinking ship she's become. And Aaron? He disappears. The man who whispered sweet promises into her ear vanishes the moment her world crashes down. She tries calling him, begging him to stand by her. But he's smart enough to know the fire is too hot. He leaves her to burn alone. Meanwhile, my life begins to rebuild. Slowly at first, then steadily. People reach out with support, some with sympathy, some with admiration for how I handled it. My mother, though hurt by the spectacle, tells me she's proud I stood up for myself. You deserved so much better, Daniel, she says softly, hugging me tight. She's right. I did. Weeks turn into months. Claire tries contacting me less and less until finally the messages stop altogether. I hear rumors of her moving out of town, trying to start fresh somewhere new where people don't know her name or her shame. I don't follow her story anymore. I don't need to. My chapter with her is finished. One evening, Mark and I are sitting on the porch of his place, beers in hand, the sunset painting the sky in streaks of orange and pink. He raises his bottle toward me. You know, most guys would have just left. Filed for divorce, maybe yelled a little, moved on. But you gave her exactly what she deserved. You made sure she couldn't keep pretending. That takes guts. I clink my bottle against his. I didn't do it for revenge. Not really. He smirks. Could have fooled me. I take a slow sip, staring out at the horizon. I did it because she needed to know she couldn't walk over people forever. That lies have consequences. That truth always comes out. Mark nods thoughtfully. So what now? You ready to start over? I smile faintly. For the first time in a long time, the thought doesn't scare me. Yeah, I think I am. We sit there in comfortable silence, the weight of the past lifting with every passing second. Later that night, back in my apartment, I look around at the life I've reclaimed. It's quieter now, emptier in some ways, but it's real, honest, mine. I think about love, about trust, about what it means to share your life with someone. And I know one day I'll find it again, not with someone like Claire, not with someone who wears masks and plays games, but with someone who understands that love is more than just words. It's loyalty, it's truth. Until then, I'm content. Content knowing I faced betrayal head-on, refused to let it define me, and walked away stronger. Claire thought she was untouchable. She thought she could have it all. Me for stability, Aaron for fun, her perfect image shining bright for the world. But in the end, she lost everything. And me? I gained something far more valuable than revenge. I gained myself back.